this segment on Stang TV, we're installing a Moser M9 rear end into our Project Fox Body Mustang.
You've probably seen our Project 666 car in previous video blogs. Keep in mind that we're trying to shoot for 666 rear wheel horsepower in about low 10s on the track. To do this, we want to start with a really good foundation, and we're going to upgrade to the Moser 9-inch rear end. While the 8.8 is probably more than most cars and most applications will ever need, and Moser certainly has upgrades for that rear end as well, the strength, durability, and the cosmetic look of the M9 really sold me on the deal. Now let's take a look at Project 666.
In previous segments, you've already seen us getting 666 ready for the track. After strengthening up the torque boxes, we installed UPR control arms, welded up a Wolf Racecraft roll bar, added weld wheels and Mickey Thompson tires, along with a full set of Willwood drag racing brakes and a new Flaming River manual rack. Now, we've got our project almost ready to handle that 600 plus horsepower. There was only one thing missing. For the ultimate in strength and durability, we decided to remove the original 8.8 and install one of Moser's brand new M9 Fox Body rear ends. Moser offers many options for your center section when building up your M9. We selected an aluminum center section for lighter weight, equipped with 3.89 gears and an Eden Detroit locker for our street strip application. Axles are Moser's specialty. We selected a fairly standard set of 35 spline axles, made from a premium quality alloy steel that is heat treated and 100% magnafluxed. Finally, once our rear end is completed, we'll be installing a complete set of Willwood rear drag racing brakes.
One of the hardest decisions we had in choosing our rear end in relationship to the rest of our drivetrain was whether to upgrade the stock 8.8 rear end or go with the Moser M9 rear end. There's a couple advantages and disadvantages to each. The Moser M9, quite frankly, is just a stronger piece. It has larger and thicker axle tubes. The housing itself is much more rigid, it's triangulated shape, can withstand a lot more stresses and cause a lot less gear deflection than you would normally experience. And it's a fully modular unit. So if you want to change gear end ratios because you're driving at a different track or you want something different on the street, you just change this intersection out, put a new one in complete with gears, and it's that quick of a change. As you can see, this housing is really good looking, and the design that went into it is just flawless. There's a flush mount bottom drain plug on the housing, which an 8.8 and most of the Ford 9-inches don't have. The all-aluminum center section casing gives us about 14 pounds less weight than a stock 9-inch center section. It looks good, it's not going to corrode on you, it'll maintain its appearance forever. And that aluminum is aircraft grade aluminum, so it has quite a bit of durability built into it as well.
Willwood brakes were a good match for our M9. We installed their Dynalite Street Strip braking kit, while UPR provided us with the rear end housing bushings.
Our M9 came with a yoke setup for a 1350 U-joint, which is much different than the stock. So we're going to have to get a different drive shaft. So we're going to install the rear end in the car and then measure from the yoke assembly to the output shaft of the transmission and provide those dimensions to the drive shaft builder.
With the rear end completed, we reinstalled our upper and lower control arms along with the stock coil springs. Next up was a set of strange rear 10-way adjustable drag shocks. The shocks were a bolt-in to the Moser M9 rear end and work in any late model Mustang application.
Our car's back together. We're going to concentrate on the break-in procedure for the rear end right now. That means we're going to run it through 2 heat cycles, bringing it up to temp, letting it cool down, bringing it up to temp, letting it cool down. Then we're going to take it out on the street, run it 10 miles, bringing it up to operating temp, bring it back in the garage, let it cool down completely.
With the warm-up out of the way, it was time to take 666 out on the street. Stay tuned for the next segment on our Moser M9 and Project 666 as we take her to the track and get some baseline numbers. Then we'll get ready to install our 666 horsepower small block and shoot for the low 10-second range.